I lost a page here. So tell me, you were the founding spiritual leader of what?
The New Thought Spiritual Center in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Anything else you want to say about yourself? Beloved, loving people, let's share this moment with our beloved Dr. J with a great applause.
That's
Welcome,
okay.
Jay.
Thank you. That's okay. The bio was getting a little long. I did write a book, and I brought some, so later we can, if you'd like to buy one for $1,000, that'd be great.
Oh, and also your wife is here.
My wife is here somewhere. Oh, there she is. Hello. Thanks for coming. First of all, how wonderful to see you on this side, because occasionally I'm on the couch, but usually we're back there in the white seats, the white colored seats. And I mostly see the back of your head, so this is nice. So there are many traditional talk titles for the first services of the year. One of them is Out with the Old, In with the New. That's a common talk title. How to Make a Fresh Start. That's kind of a funny one, like you're like spoiled like milk or something. Or that January 1st has some mysterious power to it. I read that New Year's Day on the Gregorian calendar is cosmically arbitrary and carries no astronomical significance at all, proving that any day, any week, any month can be used for a fresh start, not just January. And here's a biggie. I've had friends who have used this title. New Year, New You. But my question for you today is, what about the old you? And I'm not talking about your age. More specifically, the original you. My talk title, as you saw, is Click Here for the Factory Settings. You see, instead of concentrating on the new, I think we should concentrate on the original factory settings of who and what we are. And what are those factory settings? Well, I have a story for you. Once upon a time, there was an energy, a force, a divine intelligence, you might say. And one day, it decided to express itself by creating a vast cosmos of planets, moons, and galaxies. Each individual, each unique, and each special. Now suddenly, this all-powerful source noticed something. Hey, it's dark. So it spoke its mind and declared that one celestial body in the cosmos shall emit electromagnetic radiation rays throughout a Milky Way, not the candy bar. And click, daytime. Wow, very cool, it said. Now I can see stuff. I shall call these rays light. That's good. Great first day. A couple of days later, divine intelligence was watching the planets and their moons spinning around on their axis, and he thought, now what? So it decided to work on a specific planet for the rest of the week and thought, I'll call this one Gaia. Now, too new agey. Terra. No, sounds like a plantation. That's not good. the ground. Yeah, I'll call it the ground. No, that's a little too right on the nose descriptive. Earth. That's it. I'll call it Earth. So, divine intelligence was very excited about Earth, and it began decorating Earth with a nice green and brown flooring and a pretty blue ceiling. And thinking that it needed some art in the place, divine intelligence seeded the Earth with nice fruit-bearing trees, herbs, and flowers. Then it stepped back, took a look around, declared it good, and called it a day. The fifth day it was working, it thought, nice place, but it's a little quiet. So it created animals and birds and fish, and oh, they barked, and they roared, and they chirped, and they meowed, and buzzed up a storm. They squirmed around, swam, flew, creeped around, and so many other things. But divine intelligence liked that and decided that was good and called it another day. When light broke next, now this is the important part. When light broke next, it was looking around and it decided it needed to express itself a little more boldly on this planet. Everything was great, but maybe it would be cool to have a creature that does more than eat, poop, and mate. Maybe something that has powers like me, it said. Now that would be interesting. I will speak my word and make it so. Wait, hold on, it thought. I'll make it so that they will be able to speak their word and make it so in their lives. They shall have the power to manifest experiences in this universe of infinite possibilities for themselves right here on earth. Oh, that is going to be the coolest thing that I've ever created. And God said, and so it is, and so it was, and so we are. Thus, the factory settings. Rumi wrote, "You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You are not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings. Learn to use them and fly." I think it's time for us to reboot our perspective to the original factory settings. Now, I know life can get in the way, bills, mahjong, Venezuela, your next trip to PV, forgetfulness. Did you ever hear speaking of forgetfulness, did you ever hear the story about the couple that recently had their second child? They brought home the infant back from the hospital and they introduced their 3-year-old son to the new baby, his new little sister. And he took one look at the new infant and he turned to his parents and he said, "I want to talk to the baby by myself." Mom and Dad were taken aback. They weren't going to leave their 3-year-old son with an infant, but these words became a mantra for him for the rest of the week, days on end. I want to talk to the baby by myself. I want to talk to the baby by myself. 3-year-olds. He was pretty adamant. Well, the parents finally gave in, figuring they could, just listen from the other room on the little baby monitor. So they reminded their son that the baby is fragile, to be careful, et cetera, and all the time the 3-year-old is looking at him like, "I got it, Mom and Dad, I got it." And finally, they laid the baby in her crib and shut the door and dashed over to their room to listen in. First, they heard the boy drag a chair across the room to the crib. And then they heard him climb up onto the chair. And then there was quiet for a moment. But soon, they heard him whisper, "Sister, tell me what God looks like. I'm starting to forget." So has this happened to you? I know it has for me. Have you forgotten that the likeness and image of God is you? In Luke 17:21, it is written, when some of the Pharisees asked Yeshua when the kingdom of God would come, he answered to them, the kingdom of God does not come by observation, neither will they say, behold, it is here, or behold, it is there. For behold, he said, Hager Makulta de Alaha Lagal Mikon Hai. The kingdom of God is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. It's not something relegated to be outside of you. It's not something relegated for you to beg from or bow down to. For each and every one of us, as Ernest Holmes wrote, is an outlet through which the creative intelligence of the universe seeks fulfillment through each and every one of us. In Exodus 25:8, it is written, make for me a sanctuary, and I will dwell in it. Well, you are that sanctuary. You are where the kingdom of the divine dwells. You are that through which the divine expresses itself on this plane of action. We need a relentless appetite for the divine. We need a holy ravenousness. Today, I implore you to remember to be that divine that is within you, for you, as you, and have a ravenousness for that which you are, the divine gardener of your life. So what seeds will you plant? And how will you nourish those seeds to burgeon into love, health, wealth, joy, and wisdom in your life? Forget about making resolutions. Tend to the seeds of the garden of the original you. Water your affirmations and prayers with feelings of experiencing right now. How does it feel when you experience that which you desire right now? What does that feel like? That's your power. That's your extra superpower, those feelings of having it right now. And then consciously claim them with the gratitude of something that has already happened. You don't say thank you until you receive it, right? So when we have gratitude, we're accepting that we have received what it is we have been praying for and about. Click here for your factory settings and live as the divine you for your greatest creations. And know that the God in me sees the God in each and every one of you. Thank you. Namaste.